have Sean Sermini standing by on the street. We're going to go back to Sean right now.
All right, guys. Hey, Kevin, nice job in there. Casey, awesome hearing from you, my man. I'm here with my boy here. Yeah. And hey, first of all, listen, show him your belt.
Oh, let me show you my belt.
Yeah, look at that.
Belt. It's straight Mexican.
Woo-hoo. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, hand sewn right here in Mexico. Yep.
So I've been talking about all the cool stuff and all the food and the shopping. This guy takes it real, man. Gets himself a whole new belt and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, rad. Absolutely rad stuff. So that being said, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with two things. One, I know you help with what's happening in tech.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys are looking for.
Well, we need to make sure everybody has good lights. Mostly it's a safety situation. It's all about safety, making sure everybody's safe out there. We want to make sure they got good lights, good rear brakes. We want to make sure they have fire extinguishers, that their roll cage is up to par, that their helmets are certified. We want to make sure every aspect of that vehicle is ready to be racing out there and be safe for everybody else on the course. That's the key.
See, now I wasn't lying to you. It's about safety and it's different for different classes. If you're in slow Baja, they're going to be looking for less things than you are if you're out there in, say, a trophy truck or UTV. And so there's different things for different classes. Am I correct?
Absolutely. So, they have slow Baja Safari, Rapido Safari, and then we have the race cars. Slow Baja, Rapido Baja, we're trying to get good fire extinguishers in there as well. We want to make sure they have good radio, VHF for communications. Again, safety communications is key. So we make sure they got that. We make sure they have a good GPS for navigation, so they know how to get there, to get back, and do what they need to do. It's a little bit less critical for the safari classes, but nonetheless, there is the safety equipment that they need, so we check for that. Of course, with the race cars, they're going to have the roll cages and a lot of the fuel cells and the things like that. But every vehicle out there needs to be safe, and everybody needs to have their extinguishers and their safety equipment and their navigation and their communication. It's key.
So let's get in more into the rough and tumble side of things. When you're out there on course, sweeping, helping people out on course, you run into some gnarly situations where the vehicle's broke and this and that. And what kind of stuff? Tell me some of the wild stuff that you have to do, because every year and every day you run into things and you're like, holy cow, how did this happen? And what are we going to do to help them out? How's that work out for you?
Yeah, every day, every race, every single day, there's always a situation that we run into where there's something going on, and I had an experience out of Valley T going through like Alentura where we had a Myers Manx coming in hot into a corner. They went like 200 feet off this cliff, straight down the cliff, and we ended up doing like a 4-hour winching operation where we had to do multiple ropes, multiple vehicles, and winch them straight 200 feet up the cliff. I don't know how they would have gotten out other than a helicopter, and so there's some pretty wild stuff out there. Everybody in that instance was very safe. Everybody was super happy. We have vehicles roll out in the silt beds. They get out there, they get caught, they roll. And obviously the safety equipment's been checked. Most of the time they're pretty much always good, but we roll them back over, we keep them moving, and try to keep the race moving forward. And just be out there for them.
And then on top of that too, like someone like yourself, you've got the proper medical training as well. So it's not a matter of you're just not out there with shovels and ropes and winches. You're out there to if you have, God forbid, a real issue with a driver or even a fan or something, you're able there to take care of them the best you can to keep them supported until they get the proper support they need.
Absolutely. I work as a fireman back home. I'm a paramedic. I don't really use that role down here. We're all Baja people. We're all racers. We're trying to get through the day. I do carry a pretty heavy paramedic bag that's got a lot of stuff in there. One of the guys rolling with me, he's an EMT as well. He was a previous fire, and we have other guys in the sweep team that were also previous fire and EMTs, and so we all have medical gear. We all have a little basic first aid training at the very least. Some of us, again, are paramedics and EMTs, and, we're out there, to make sure everybody's taken care of. Sometimes there's accidents. Sometimes there's medical emergencies, and we have the resources and logistics here to do on-scene medical control and also work on getting them transported with Cruz Roja or any other organization that's out there helping us and trying to get them to a destination that they're going to get the best care possible.
Right on.
Ultimately back into the States, back to their families.
Sure. So we've been talking a lot about that yesterday and today as far as tech and what happens with the sweeps, and it's all about safety. It's of the utmost importance here at Norra, and we have an amazing staff that are very, very, very capable men and women that are willing to do whatever it takes to keep competitors moving on in the race or to make sure they're safe and they get home and get the proper care that they need. And it's guys like Scott John Wayne Reddish here that can help you out, man. So thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Dude.
Yeah,
hey,
right
we'll
on.
see you out there.
Yeah,
Baja, man.
Maybe some
Right
cervezas later.
My
man. All right, Scott Reddish, everyone.